ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I don't know why my lighting is all a bit funky in here, but I suppose it'll do for now. All right, so we're back. We're officially back. This is the first reaction I'm recording back from a very long hiatus, and quite a number of you have suggested, hey, our boy has some new stuff out. This is very new. I didn't realize this was only 12 days ago. So I am very excited to actually get into this. So before we get going, thank you guys so much again for the support on everything. Thank you for sticking around and holding on for my reactions. I really appreciate all of that support they've received over the time. I'm going to try and not pause this as often as I usually do, because the biggest thing that I've seen in my comments is, hey, stop pausing so much. And I do apologize about that. ADHD brain takes over and just like pause, because the thought is here, and if I leave it, it goes. So I'll try my best to avoid pausing too much, but there will be pauses, for sure. It's not going to be a case of I'm going to just listen to the whole thing and then give thoughts. I will pause it, especially if there are going to be points that I want to take note of. So let's get into this one. This one is called When I've Got You. Now, I believe this is original. I don't know if it's a cover or not. Yep, looks like that is exactly the case, that this is an original song. So, all right, so let's give this a listen. I've been very excited to hear how his voice has developed. I know that I was doing the songs in order from the show that he was on, and I got kind of brick-walled because as soon as I did The Show Must Go On, that video got copyright struck by the people that did the video. Now, that was a very interesting situation, because I found out that apparently, according to several sources I found on the internet, they didn't have the rights for that song either. So them claiming the copyright on that one and forcing it to be taken down when there were other reactions of the same song. Yeah, it was a bit weird. But anyway, let's get to this and see how we go. Just going to turn this up in my headset so I can hear everything. Is that Dimash doing that? On the radio? Oh. I'm loving the theatrics of this so far. Alright. Before we get into the actual song, I am going to pause it there just for a second. I just want to point something out. I believe that is Dimash doing that and singing that. I could be wrong, but I'm like 90% sure. Which, if that is the case, there's likely a recording of him singing that. Unfortunately for me, that first part, and I don't want this to sound like a reflection on him, it's not, because of the old-timey effect that they've kind of put on the track. Those higher notes were kind of topping out the system. It's not by any means a reflection on him. There are better ways to kind of get that old-timey effect. Actually, a good example of that old-timey effect without it sort of topping out the system is Alistair from Has Been Hotel. Now, if you're under 18, do not go and watch that movie, that series. Do not watch Has Been Hotel. I do not want people thinking that I'm trying to encourage that sort of thing. It is definitely not a show for anybody under 18. But I'm intrigued to go back and hear him do this song, so that I'll probably do a reaction to that one too, actually. Oh yeah, that's not creepy at all. No. Hello.
Making my way down south to the river, ran lost for days, 'cause I'm looking for freedom. There's nothing but chains around me, but I won't be broken, 'cause I'm gonna fight this time, fight every moment. Not gonna lie, it hurts this time, 'cause I am feeling alone on this side. Not gonna lie, I come back to life when I've got you. You are my gateway to heaven.
Whoa. Dude, this guy, his skill knows no bounds. First of all, this particular thing, I was not expecting to go from something classical to something with, now, forgive the term of phrase here, because I like to keep things kind of family friendly. There's a lot of, like, sex appeal in this. Like, just that driving bass line at the beginning, the way that the voice comes through, the overall look of what is happening here. This girl is very attractive that he's got here. And he looks great. And he's got that kind of dark, brooding thing going. This is a lot to take in. Oh my God. Vocally, I need to go back, because I had a moment there where I was being completely overwhelmed by how good that was, that I can't remember it. It's so strange. I've never had that before in my life.
Way down south to the river, ran lost for days, 'cause I'm looking for freedom. There's nothing but chains around me, but I won't be broken, 'cause I'm gonna fight this time, fight every moment. Not gonna lie, it hurts this time, 'cause I am feeling alone on this side. Not gonna lie, I come back to life when I've got you.
Okay, all right, cool. So I'm just going to break down this kind of section here. This opening section has been phenomenal. Every time he goes into that falsetto sound in there, it's so seamless. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, but you know, it's a recording, it's not a live performance. Yes, I know that. There's been a lot of comments on videos saying, oh yeah, but you know, they use auto-tune. Yeah. Everyone does. Like, there's not a singer alive that doesn't have a layer of auto-tune on top of their vocal, right? And the thing is that I keep stressing with auto-tune is that it is sometimes there as a tool to clean up a vocal. Okay, so there's been times where I've used it as well. I believe the cover I put up of the song Fragile, the Sting song, I used it in that. Now, what it is, though, you've still got to get very close to that note in order for it to not be deemed incredibly obvious that that's the only reason that voice has hit that note. It gets you notice it when it's been manipulated heavily with auto-tune, because there's like a computeristic tick that you can kind of hear in the voice, which is completely unnatural. I'm sorry, I'm gonna turn that around, because that was bothering me. I kept seeing the screen of it come back. Going into that falsetto, absolutely fantastic. And then he's got that amazing belt tone as well. Like when he's let me just go back a little bit here when he starts.
You think my chance around me, but I won't be broken, 'cause I'm gonna fight this time, fight every moment. Not gonna lie,
Here.
It hurts this time, 'cause I am feeling alone on this side. Not gonna lie, I come back to life when I've got you. You are my God, trying to heaven.
Okay, so that kind of belt area there, right? I think my camera just did something funky. Hopefully when I'm recording this, it doesn't come out.
Spoiler alert, it did. I don't know why. I'll try and fix it, but I don't know why it did that. So, it'll happen one more time in this video, and I do apologize. I'll see if I can fix it for the future.
But he's got that kind of almost like a little bit of a vocal fry onto the voice. Now, the thing is, I'd love to hear how he tackles this live, because, pardon me, when it comes to singing live, I don't usually recommend doing like heavy vocal fry, because unless you are doing it exactly right, like there are very specific techniques to preserve your voice whilst doing that. I don't usually recommend doing it. I'm sure that our boy here has the skills to maintain that, but I think what would happen is he probably wouldn't put the fry on live as a voice conservation effort, essentially. But I still would be interested to hear that. When it comes to doing recordings like this, I love hearing things like that. And a lot of people, I've had a lot of conversations with people where they get frustrated when the recording isn't the same as what they do live. And I've had to sit them down and kind of go, look, here's why. Basically, what they'll do is they'll do this for an effect for their recording, because this is what artistically works for them. And in a studio, you've got that freedom to do it. Like, I don't think he would have done 100 takes of this by any means. The man is an absolute master when it comes to using his voice. But if he wanted to, he could. You know what I mean? Like, the only restriction is if he wasn't doing this in like a home studio, is the time and the money that it would cost to do that many takes, right? In his particular case, I just don't think it would have taken that many, because we know that he is insanely good, right? He knows his craft. But yeah, I think that I would be really interested to hear how he tackles this live, and I'm sure it would be absolutely phenomenal. Okay, back to what I was saying. Like there is an insane sort of like a sex appeal feel here. This actually gives me some very early post American Idol vibes for Adam Lambert when he came out with what's that song called? For Your Entertainment. Giving me some real similar vibes, even with how the song is being tackled. Similar techniques being used, similar kind of effects, A-F-F-E-C-T-S, put onto the voice, and it works so well. Like it's really lovely. I think it's brilliant. Now, the thing that I wasn't expecting, I know that this man has an insane range, right? What I was not expecting was that low octave. Let's go back here.
Finding my place, just a man in a man's world.
That's really low.
Making a name, it easy these days. But when I come home to your sweet love, you're my slice of heaven. I got my right or die in my arms all night. Not gonna lie, it hurts sometimes when I am feeling alone on this side. Not gonna lie, I come back to life when I got you. You are my
Whoa! I love this. I love this, right? That vocal thing that he did there, incredible. Necessary? No. Why is it there? Because he could. And that's all that matters, right? When he does that sort of thing. It's like, dude, you're such a show-off. Keep doing that. Because I love that. Like, oh, man. I need to hear that again.
It hurts sometimes when I am feeling alone on this side. Not gonna lie, I come back to life when I got you. You are my
Bro, like, it's so unnecessary, but it's so good. Like, I don't want people to think that I'm saying it's unnecessary and he shouldn't have done it. I'm so glad he did it, because it just shows you how incredible his skills are with his voice. Not only that, though, the thing that impresses me the most is that because he does that, people are going to try and emulate that. Now, 9 times out of 10, what my biggest irk is when it comes to teaching people is when they come in, I'll get a lot of girls coming in going, I want to sound like Mariah. I want to sound like, Whitney Houston. I want to sound like Adele. I'll have guys come in and go, I want to sing, like Steve Perry from Journey. I want to sound like George Michael. I want to sound like, James LaBrie from Dream Theater. And that's all well and good to have inspirations. But the thing is, there's only one of those people. Now, so you're never going to be that person, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't want to be that person. You should want to be yourself, right? Find out how your voice works. But having said this, hearing this sort of thing and having people go, oh, that's something I didn't know you could do with your voice. It inspires people. So even if they are going to try and emulate that, right? Basically, so to take it back into layman's terms, right? Give me a second. I just need to open a door because it's really hot. Okay, sorry. Really hot in here. I needed to open up a door because the airflow in this room is not great. My biggest... sorry, where was I? Oh, yeah. So what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to notice that that is something that you can do with the voice that people didn't think about before. Something that I've always done is essentially that. I would listen to people like Stevie Wonder, and which is very evident from the way that I sing Fragile, because he did a version of Fragile with Sting for, I think it was like Sting's 50th birthday, something like that. Might have been, it was either 40th or 50th, something like that. And you kind of go, okay, all right, no worries. I'm going to learn how to do that and incorporate that into how I sing, right? And seeing stuff like that, it's going to be great because people are going to realize that, hey, I can do that. I might be able to incorporate something similar. Not exactly the same, but something similar. Like, this is the interesting thing for me. A lot of people will come in and try and mimic a song and its vocalist to like the nth degree, right? Like they will try and mimic it to sound exactly like them. And I try to discourage sounding exactly like them. But that's how we always learn, right? Is you copy the vocal patterns. You sometimes copy the tonality. A large part of the way that I teach is to teach about the Latin vowel sounds that we kind of fall into when we sing, and how you can manipulate those vowel sounds into to basically suit your voice, because not everybody is going to be good at all of the vowels. Some vowels will be easier for some people than others. But it's the same for the human condition, right? So chefs, right? They learn, how do they learn? They learn by cooking other meals. And then they go, oh, okay, cool. So this is why this is in this for this particular flavor. I'm going to add this, which is going to add that sour. This is going to add the sweet and balance that out. And it's the same with singing. You kind of go, this is the technique I'm going to use here. You work out, okay, cool. So these are the bits and pieces that I'm going to take and make my own recipe for this song. You know, singing is an incredibly beautifully simple yet complicated mistress. It is an incredibly insane thing, and there are people seeing people like our boy here. It's crazy. It's so good, and I'm so excited that there's still 3 minutes of this song left.
I get right to heaven. I haven't knew in my life, my love. Oh, my baby, you are the best thing to happen. I got an angel that can't always get what you give me, single thing I never live to set the day. You make it all worthy, baby.
Sorry, I do need to pause this again. I know people love it when I pause frequently, right? But this particular instrumental, right, and the video clip, something that is kind of taking my breath away is the attention to detail. Like, for instance, right, if we go back here to where we see his eyes, or every shot, right? So that particular shot was only like a second long, right? And it would have taken a couple of takes to probably get it right. There's a lot of work artistically that's gone into this, not just vocally, not just musically, but visually. Everything seems to have a purpose. This particular red motif here, I'm guessing that, you know, we've got this kind of vampire motif happening. I think that this is her transition from human to vampire. Like, everything has been thought through so well, and I think it's terrific. I think this is the sort of thing that I live for. Artistic freedom and artistic vision like this that gets that has the opportunity to actually get done, and get done the way that people want it to. I feel as though from the bits and pieces that I know about Dimash, I feel like he was in control of all of this, right? He composed it. I feel like he was the one with the ultimate say of this is what happens, right? And then you've got a lot of movies and like if you think about Hollywood, right? There's like a hierarchy. You've got the writers, you've got the directors, you've got the producers, right? And the producer's the one that gets the say in the end, right? I feel as though our boy here has gotten all of the say, and I feel like it works. I feel like it works. Like, he may have had people say, "Hey, why don't we maybe try it like this?" But I think I love this. I'm just rambling. Yeah, that's the shot. Like, look at the lighting on the eyes. Like, all of that was very intentional. I think it's brilliant. I think just artistically, it's terrific.
Not gonna lie, it hurts sometimes when I am feeling alone on this side. Not gonna lie, come back to life when I've gone through. You are my guide, to heaven. I have had you in my life, my love. Oh, my baby, you are the best thing to happen. I got an itch of the future. Yeah, won't you give me single thing and every reason since the day you make it all worthy, baby.
Wow. Okay, authors of the idea, yep. Dimash. Authors of the song lyrics. Okay, so somebody else wrote the song lyrics, produced it, obviously in the cast. Okay, so maybe even if he didn't have the full power over the say, I feel like he had a huge hand in it, right? Because we can see that our guy here is just artistically something else. That's fantastic. Seriously. That is something else. Man, what do I say about that? There's nothing to be said about his voice, right? We know that he is phenomenal. The only thing like that I feel like a lot of people will have an issue in some of those like faster segments hearing exactly what he's saying, like diction-wise, and it's literally because English is not his first language, right? Everybody can forgive that. Who cares? The usage of the voice is so important, and he just nails that with no issue. I'm sitting here in awe because of the combination of the vocal, right? And the composition, how that song is put together is phenomenally done. But the artistic style of that video clip as well, like, there's so much to talk about in breaking down that particular story. And it is a story. Like, but not only is there a story in the song, there's a story that's happening in the film clip which isn't quite the same, but that's what's intriguing to me. Like, it's insane. I actually, so I'm planning on releasing soon a podcast that I'm doing with a friend of mine who she has a film degree, and we're going through the worst 100 films on IMDb, right? And I actually want to put this in front of her to get her to pull apart this from a film creator perspective. Because I think she'd sink her teeth into this, no pun intended. Okay, well, look, this was phenomenal, right? For this to be the first reaction back, and for it to only been about 12 days ago that this was done, holy, like, man, I am so impressed with this. I am so excited to see more, because my journey is hardly done when it comes to our boy here. Man, I love it. I'd love to chat with him. Like, genuinely, I would love to just have a conversation with him and just pick his brain as to exactly like what the choices were, what the conversations were to make this the way that it has been done. Because, man, the whole way through, there was nothing that lacked. The choreography, the costuming, the lighting, the music, nothing lacked. Like, the only thing that upsets me, and it's nothing to do with the video itself, is that because Dimash is, I want to say the word indie developer doesn't really work, but basically he's not going through the channels of like your massive well-known studios. The only people that are going to find out about this are us, the Deers, right? The people that have actively found his stuff and followed his stuff, and like, I feel like this film clip deserves awards, seriously, and the song itself as well. Like, I don't know, maybe I need to do like a People's Choice Award like thing on this channel if things start to go well, or like, I'm really not sure, but I love this. This has been stunning, and I'm going to have this song on loop probably for the next few hours. I'm not going to lie. Whilst I am editing this video, I am sure I'm going to have it on loop. So I completely forgot that I'd said this in the video, and I feel called out because as I am editing this, it is blasting through my headphones right now. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like or favorite if you enjoyed, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff. Please leave a comment below, as to other songs, and artists you would like me to react to. Even if it's, like live performances or recordings or anything like that. Like, if you, something I'm going to do, very soon is I'm going to open up an email that people can send links to, or I might actually create like a form that people can fill out, and they can advise anything, like absolutely anything. Even if they have a friend that does YouTube, I'll go and have a look at their stuff. You know what I mean? Because my big mission for what I'm doing with these reaction videos is finding the talent that people aren't seeing. And like, you've got these massive artists, you know, you've got your Taylor Swifts, you've got your Ariana Grandes, but we have our Dimash here, who is, in my opinion, one of, if not the greatest vocalist in existence today, getting nowhere near as much accolades as they deserve, right? And he's not the only one. There are many other people that need to be brought into a more public setting, and that has always been and will always be my mission here. So I don't care how unknown somebody is. If you have friends that are in a band that you think are pretty good, send them over. Seriously. Once it's all up and running, I'll get some form of form, online form ready to go for that. Once that's done, I'll let everybody know so that they can submit through that. But anyway, again, like if you enjoyed, subscribe to all that sort of stuff, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye for now.